steps in the direction of happiness as you define happiness. So I'm saying push the happiness button, not because material things don't matter. They do. And you deserve whatever your heart desires. You're a material thing right now, physically speaking. There's nothing wrong with wanting to change the stage of your life. It's your prerogative. Happiness is the ultimate end result. But I teach in the book that the third column, where there's the Fantastic Five, all of these, abundance, career, health, relationships, and appearance, these all depend on the illusions, and there's nothing wrong with wanting to manipulate the illusions of your life, but they're generally stated. So I give you a few nuances and I tell you a few things about this matrix. At the end of World War II, when I introduced this material, it was consistently rated the favored part of the day for most participants. And it's so favored, it's now the basis of an entire world tour, this matrix. It might seem a little foggy or fuzzy now, because you probably are on board right now with this. But in a day or two, you're going to think, did he say that the details are bad? I've got details on my vision board. Am I playing the matrix backwards? All of those questions are answered. The details rock. They're awesome. Use them like you have always used them when you visualize. There's no contradiction here, except from this day forward, you're no longer going to attach to those details. You're going to leave room for even better, stuff you can't even imagine. And this is true with every argument you might come up with between now and the time you read that chapter. There's no contradiction to what you've always been told about being a deliberate manifester. It's just now that there's a new way of looking at manifesting and a new way of defining your end results in a general sense, while still using and relishing and visualizing the details, just not attaching to the details, just as you don't insist on the cursed house. After I talk about the matrix, the next chapter is the power to have it all, which you've got. The power to have it all is the action section of the book. And I give you a tip here saying that if you hold the right perspective, if you change or tweak your perspective just a little bit, you're automatically going to start behaving in a slightly different way. Let me share this note from the universe with you so that you know what I'm talking about. Be there. Go there now and never leave. Imagine that your dreams have already come true. Live your life from that mindset. Predicate your behavior on that reality, not the illusions that now surround you. Filter every thought, question, and answer from there. Let your focus shift and be born again, because dwelling from, not upon, the space you wish to inherit is the fastest way to change absolutely everything. See the difference? The universe. Do you see the difference between dwelling from and dwelling upon? This is what I'm talking about when I say possess the proper perspective and you will automatically behave in brand new ways that serve you. Does anybody want to make a suggestion as to what I'm talking about here? The difference between dwelling from versus dwelling on? Exactly. It's already done. And the metaphor I give you next in the book is I say, do this, and you can do this tonight. Move in, metaphorically, into the mansion of your wildest dreams. And when I say mansion, I don't just mean the house. I mean the whole kit and caboodle. Everything, relationships, health, physique, you got it. Okay, move into that world. Create that world, that end result in your mind. And from this point forward in your life, gaze at the world around you through its windows. You're already home. You're already in the mansion of your wildest dreams. And based on that view, predicate your behavior from this day forward to the degree that you can afford, health-wise or financially, to base your behavior from that view. The view being from the life you've always wanted as if you already had it. And then your behavior, your actions, your baby steps will automatically serve you and put you in a place of receivership of life's magic. That, in a nutshell, is the power to have it all. The next chapter is opening the floodgates very simply. Be led by joy. Be led by joy. Don't be led by logic. Don't be led just by intuition. There should always be a balance. But moreover, be led by what it is that makes your heart sing. There's abundance and friends and health down every path, so choose the one that resonates for you. Don't watch The Secret and then notice that Betty down the road is selling tons of widgets and think you should be selling widgets too, because after all, now you know The Secret. It's going to be even easier for you. What do you want to do? Not what should you do. Abandon the shoulds like you abandon the hows, and this is how you open the floodgates. You tune in and take inventory of what makes your heart sing. There's tips, there's examples, there's stories in all of these chapters. Chapter 7 is very dicey. It's called Understanding Adversity, and it stems from my wish to make sure that no one is left behind when it comes to understanding the nature of reality. I'm going to tell you kind of the core tenet in this chapter, and it might rub you the wrong way. It might poke you a bit. But by the end of the chapter, I trust you'll be on board. I used to ask the question, as magnificence as all of this is, 10 sextillion stars at a minimum? Birds that fly 8,000 miles, whales that sing songs under the Atlantic. Why do bad things happen? And amongst all of this grandeur, this perfection, this mind-bending brilliance in the cosmos, why do bad things have to happen? If you've got a big question mark in your tapestry of understanding how life works, there can go your power. And so I wanted to address the most difficult questions in this chapter. And they're going to push you. But it won't be too new for many of you. I realize I'm preaching to the choir. The answer to the question is that, and this is the abrasive part, when you stand far enough back from the equation, from the incident, from the violation, or whatever transpired in time and space, when you stand far enough back, and I'm talking about you're now taking into account eternity and infinity and unconditional love, you then start seeing everything that happened in time and space in context. And then suddenly you see that there was some kind of order going on. There was some kind of healing going on, even though with your little peepers you couldn't see it at all. And there was some kind of love going on. It's important to ask the hard questions, because if you don't, and there's question marks there, your power can ebb away. You can start believing in victims. You can start believing in random chance, none of which are reality. The final chapter is called It's Your Turn. It's the shortest chapter, and it reiterates the basic tenets and lessons of the entire book. And it is kicked off by an ancient old saying that you've probably heard many times before: fortune favors the bold. The first time I heard that, I was like, wow, that resonated for me. Fortune favors the bold. But at the same time it resonated for me, it intimidated me a little bit, because it's like, what does it take to be bold? What do I got to do? How fearless do I have to be? And so I thought about it. And whenever you think about something, particularly a question, the answers come. And the realization came to me that boldness isn't finishing the marathon. It's deciding to run in the marathon. It's not the final steps of the race. It's the first steps of the race. Yet so many people are so psyched out by the bling bling and the grandeur of their heroes and heroines, they forget that those folks often started with less than what we have today. And that's what made them bold. What's bolder? When Oprah Winfrey launched arguably the greatest television network on planet Earth, one of the most popular on planet Earth, she was already worth tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars by that stage in her life. Was that bold, or was it more bold when Oprah Winfrey, young, teenager, black, overweight, undereducated, had the audacity or the nerve to show up to an interview where she would be competing for a broadcasting position against older, white, better educated, thinner men? That was bold. And then in the context of things, it's these baby steps that are actually the easiest. You just got to show up. Just go do it anyway. With one step, you'll see where number 2 goes, where number 3 goes, where number 4 goes. Boldness lies within all of us. If we just have the audacity to take those first few steps in a journey, which finally are a lot easier to take when you understand the truth being that you are not alone. Let me share one of the very last notes from the universe in this book. I have to tell you that one of the greatest things about being the universe is knowing absolutely everything. Well, that and making dreams come true. I also love being eternal and having no limits, creating worlds simply with thoughts, knowing that reality is unfolding just exactly as it should. Having it all, being it all, doing it all, and I like being perpetually in love and loved. How about you? What's your favorite thing about being the universe? Is life fair? Is it fair? Did you not hear what I was saying? That's a trick question. It's not fair, really. The cards of life are so stacked in your favor, there's no 50-50 about it. It's like you're cheating every single day. You've got a legion of angels at your command, the universe conspiring on your behalf. You have but to think of a new world and it is born. Speak about it and it starts shaking and vibrating. Move towards it and the inevitable day of your arrival draws near. And that's manifesting change. Woohoo! Oh, thank you very much. Wow. What an honor and what a privilege and what a memorable night for me. Thank you all for being part of this. I will not forget the sellout crowd at Unity Church of the Hills, 500 people. Woohoo! So we do have a bit of time.